Doing yoga every day for 30 days really taps into something that's super spiritual. And so how it affected me long term, I would just say it really made me self-aware and able to, because there's so much, as much as you heal, there's like 50 other levels to heal.
What up, though, and welcome to the Meech Show podcast. I am your host, Meech, and this is Guidelines to Get Up Off the Sidelines. I am so excited about today. We have conversations here that are really dope, transforming. That's just what we do, and today is no different. I am very excited to introduce to you my friend, Asha. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Insert claps here. So kind of introduce yourself and tell people what you do.
My name is Asha. I am a yoga instructor, a manifestation life coach, and just a flower child, just out here
literally
living, figuring
That's
out
so
life.
true. Yeah. That is okay. So I've not just been to the yoga class. I would like to think that I am like a regular now.
She's a regular.
Now, and I love it. It's so good. Like it's so healing because how you found a way to like mesh two things that feel so good, like yoga and manifestation. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. But kind of walk us through like your spiritual journey. What led you here?
It all starts like when you're a kid. I feel like everyone's journey starts when they're a child. And for me, it was Googling yoga positions in my bedroom, like
really as a kid.
Literally, I will never forget. And I don't know what prompted it, but yeah, I would just be doing yoga in my room, and then my friends always called me like the flower child, like the go easy. Even though I'm an Aries and I can be real fiery.
I got the fire for you still, but.
And then when I got to college, I had like a really bad breakup, and I lived up the street from a yoga studio. And I just started going to yoga classes all the time. Shout out to my mom. She got my first yoga membership for Christmas that year.
Oh, what a gift.
It was like, I needed it. And I would wake up and go like at 6 a.m. like every day. And it really just helped ground me. And then fast forward, after college, I was teaching English in Thailand. And really that was the moment where I was like, I'm having a real opportunity I was so alone. I was the only black girl, the only me. Yeah.
Can we back up a little bit? How'd you get to Thailand? Like, what made you go to Thailand to teach English?
So also there's like, that's the yoga story. And then there's this manifestations story that was happening in my life. When I was younger, I watched The Secret, like when I was like 12. Yeah. Movie changed my life.
Me too. I wasn't 12 though. So you like way ahead of the game.
I was super young. My mom
I was 20.
Okay, yeah. I was in college telling people come to my dorm and we about to watch this movie.
Yes.
I was always a huge like everyone needs to watch this. It changed my life. Because I watched it like in middle school, didn't really understand. Then I got to high school and I would just really pay attention to my thoughts. And looking back, like I manifested a lot of things that I wanted. Like I was doing stuff that I had I was cheerleader, I really couldn't cheer. I was senior class president. I was like, I had a car, like all these things that I was really blessed to experience. And I think that I experienced it because I thought it and I believed I could have it, and
come on now.
And so those things like that just kept happening. So in college, my freshman year, I was walking to a math class and I saw a board, like a little bulletin board, and it said teach English abroad. I was like, that sounds cool. And I just started saying like all 4 years, people would ask you what you're doing after college. And I kind of like rehearsed the script in my head, even though I wasn't really taking any actions toward it. I would say that I'm gonna go teach English abroad and then come back and go to law school.
Wow.
One of those two happened.
That's just...
Yeah.
I understand, because I thought I was going to law school too, child, but that's a whole other thing.
Anyway, that story, that storyline that I was telling myself all those 4 years. I graduated, I still didn't know how I was about to teach abroad. My grandmother found this course for me. Shout out to, you know, my family is really like how I became who I am.
Yes.
So, she found the course. I didn't even think she paid for it. And like I went literally the day after I finished my last class for school, I was back in school learning, getting my certification to teach English abroad.
Wow.
And then after that happened, the company that I went through, they helped me get a job, and I got a job in Thailand. And I was like, I'm out. Like August 25th, I think it was.
What year was this?
This was 2018.
Wow. So then you on your way to Thailand, and yoga is about to meet manifestation.
So I was already like, I started doing yoga heavily my senior year. That's when I started going to the yoga studio, and I was starting to meditate and do all these things. And I just knew that the opportunity that I was about to have, like I lived in a really cute cottage. I had so much free time. I would wake up early. I would meditate on the porch, do yoga, eat mangoes. It was great.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
But also, it sounds so beautiful, but when I was there, it was hard some days.
Yeah.
Like, it was not all peaches and cream.
No, I mean, you're away from everything.
I really learned during that time that no matter where you are in the world, like you're gonna have problems. Like no matter things, but I also feel like it made me very self-sufficient because I was alone and I had to do a lot of problem solving. And it just made me even more into the woman that I am. So then I was doing yoga and I was like, I wanna do more yoga. And I was looking for yoga studios around and I didn't really vibe with any of them. And I just started, as I was searching, I saw like yoga teacher certification classes and I was like, And then I was searching some more and I saw it was cheapest to do it in India. And I was like, well, duh, that's where yoga was founded.
Right, right.
So I went to India in March of 2019 and I spent a month there. And that month was almost as spiritual as my whole time in Thailand. Like
just that 1 month.
It was so amazing.
India is on like one of the places I really want to travel. It's not easy to travel there though, is it?
I mean,
in my mind, it's not. It could totally
You
be.
have to do like little paperwork and stuff like that. Yeah, it was some things that after I bought my ticket, I was like, oh, I need to do what?
I got homework. I bought the
There's a lot of
flights.
little things you have to do. But it was worth it. And when I was there, India is so huge. Like,
yes.
They speak different languages all over. They have different foods all over. I remember just thinking, I want to come back here like for the rest of my life. Like, I want to
keep coming back.
There's so much. I was in Rishikesh, which is northern India by the Himalayan mountains.
Oh, wow.
And it was so beautiful. It was very healing too. It was a great time.
So how did that time, like you said, like that time was it was more spiritual than your whole time you spent in Thailand. How did that transform you outside of like you now being like trained in yoga?
So doing yoga every day for 30 days really taps into something that's super spiritual. And so how it affected me long term, I would just say it really made me self-aware and able to, because you know, there's so much, as much as you heal, there's like 50 other levels to heal.
Yes, girl, yes.
Like,
preach.
Even where I am now, like I'm still experiencing like, okay, this is not who you want to be, Asha. Like,
right.
But I can pinpoint it, see it, and then start making changes toward it. And I think that is what being spiritual and like being in tune is knowing that no one's perfect.
Yeah.
You aren't perfect, but there's always room to grow.
Yeah, and become. You have this calmness. It's like your energy, it calms me down. I'm very hype. Like I'm very like.
And I don't know how it happened. Like I said, I'm an Aries. Like.
Right. That's how you know it's just got to be who you are because like.
But you know, my moon is Gemini, and I was doing some research, and you know that's air, so that's more calm. So maybe I think that is the way people see me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes internally.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, I can see that.
Because sometimes internally it still feels like a lot of fire.
Yeah, like I still feel the fire. I don't know. I know y'all getting
people
calm.
be like, I'm calm. I'm like, okay, if you say so.
Right. But I feel the fire. No,
Yeah.
my moon is Aries, so that's my fire.
So people see that in you.
They
yes,
do.
'cause I see so much energy and vibrance.
Yeah, but in my mind, I'm a lot more calm than I probably come off.
Yeah, so we got it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
feel like I'm short.
do you feel short? I feel kind of short because I'm like
you look
leaning
real
back.
comfy in that chair. I'm like, I'm about to slip off.
Girl, no. Sometimes I get too comfortable in this chair. I was looking at some old interviews. Girl, I was so deep into a conversation at one point, I was just like this. And I'm like, let me tighten up.
It was taking over you?
It was taking over me. I'm literally just like this, just talking for like
That's
5
funny.
minutes.
That's funny.
Like, let me tighten up. So when did you realize how powerful it would be if you could incorporate manifestation into your yoga practices?
I think it was when I came home and I was trying to figure out like my niche
Yeah.
with yoga.
Come on, marketing.
You know, we live in this society where you have to market yourself. I don't love that. That's a whole nother conversation, but
Yeah.
you know, I just knew that these two things were really important to me. I knew that they were in the same field, and then I started doing research about manifestation and yoga and seeing that it was like a thing. Like,
Yeah.
And so I just started, because I started teaching yoga in the park, because I also really love nature. I love being outside.
Yeah,
That's
me
another
too.
part of me. And then the manifestation was just something that I was always super passionate about, always wanting to research, always just loved it. And so, yeah, I just put them together. It just kinda happened.
And they just like,
and it went
I
perfectly.
feel like they met right up in Thailand. Like,
It was, I did my first full moon ritual while I was in India.
okay.
With my roommate, who, shout out to her, she was so great.
Yeah.
It was really a blessing to end up with like another woman of color. Yeah,
all the way there.
Yeah, she was from Paris. Her dad was from somewhere in Africa. I can't remember, but
Wow.
she was so amazing. And both of our birthdays were in March.
Oh, was she
So-
Pisces?
No, she was an Aries.
She was an Aries,
yeah,
too.
our birthdays were like the same week, and we were in India in March. So my birthday was actually the day we graduated.
Oh, that is so special.
It was so much alignment.
You get who you need. You always
Yes,
get who
so
you need
much
along the way.
alignment. And so yeah, she taught me my first, like how to do the full moon thing, like doing the intentions. She pulled out crystals and the incense and bought us cake. It
Yes.
was like a whole thing, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool.
This
And then
is
I
nice.
just kept doing it. Like from there, I learned more about it. Just started kind of incorporating it into my life.
Yeah. I love that. Really, of what you said that really resonates with me. So much of what you said just now resonates with me. But the fact that The Secret was like your first peek in, that was my first peek in.
I think it was so many
I'll
people's
never
that
forget the day.
Nobody was telling information like that.
When I tell you, I thought, to this day, I still think I kind of floated up off my seat a little bit. Like, it was like random. I was like visiting my sister. She stayed way like far from the city. She's like 2 hours away. So if you go visit her, you spending the night, you know? And so her and her boyfriend, they were putting the baby down. So I was just by myself for the rest of the night. And so I wrote up a little something. And I'm like looking for something to watch on Netflix. I don't even know how I
sounds, like,
landed.
perfect,
It was, when I say it was so
Yes.
perfect, I landed on The Secret and I'm in tune because like it has my full attention. And I'm also like,
Yeah.
Right?
You feeling the spirit.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm watching it and I literally like start shedding tears because I realized that I had power in this, that I wasn't helpless to everything that happened to me, that I could like change things. Literally, like I will never forget that moment. It was the moment I decided, right? It was the moment I decided, like very shortly after I would move to Atlanta. Like it's when things around me start changing. I was just talking about this, like, because I couldn't really have these conversations with the people around me at the time. I was back home and I would talk about manifestation and my family and my friends used to say I was talking crazy. They were like, here she go. Because they didn't know what I was talking about, right? But I'm like, no, y'all, I'm on to something.
And I bet you they know now, though.
Now they know because now they see.
It's becoming so much more mainstream.
It is
crazy.
mainstream.
Yeah.
And even if you ever knew me and know me now, you see that this girl was on to something. She manifested something. If she was right here with us, these amount of years ago, and now she's somewhere else,
It worked.
what she was talking about might have some validity to it, right?
And that's a fact.
It's changed my life. Manifestation has changed my life. I like to think I call in everything I need.
Yeah. And I'm in a space now because once you know that it works, it's like, you're like, okay, I have to do it. Like, I have to like get there and like manifest this life that's in my head. But it takes time. And I listen to, have you ever heard of Abraham Hicks?
Yes.
So they have like amazing podcasts. I haven't read the books, but I know their books are good. But I listen to their podcasts all the time. And I was listening to one today, and it says that you can't expect all of your desires, all of your manifestations to come to you right now. She said it's like eating all of the food you're ever going to eat in your whole life in one day. Like,
oh, come on now.
It's not
bars. That's a bar. That's a bar.
That's not something that you even want to experience.
Yeah.
So it really helps you put into perspective all of the, like all of these dreams that you have. It might feel so big, but if you co-create with the universe and you just let yourself be present and work on what you're supposed to work on, which is just keeping your vibrations high and having a clear idea of what you want, the universe will align it all for you when it's meant to.
So, in that, what do you think are some of the biggest mistakes that people make in trying to manifest and call things into their life?
Well, most of the time people are calling in things they don't want. We're always complaining. I hate that. I'm a victim. I do it. I'm working on it. Oh, I hate this. Oh, this day sucks. Oh, can't wait. I'm so broke, or I can't wait to like blah blah blah. Like you're speaking that stuff onto your life.
Come on now.
When you say you're broke, I have a lot of influences that I love to get. All the credit is not mine.
Yeah, same.
Imani Cohen, the Hood Healer. Yes.
Oh, I love
her. Yes.
Girl. Yes, me too.
She says that when you call yourself broke, you're cursing yourself.
You are literally speaking that over yourself.
Yeah, and it was a habit I had to get out of, because in college I would be like, I'm broke. I ain't got time for that.
I can't do that.
Like, but I really had to realize, like, okay, Asha, you just manifested brokenness in your 20s.
Yeah.
And you have to let that go and start manifesting abundance, and knowing that you have to speak the language of it. Your words have so much power, and I feel like we take that for granted.
We do.
And a lot of times we'll find ourselves around people who are struggling, and we want to relate to their struggle.
Like, girl, me too.
Yeah, and that's really not healthy at all. You have to stop. Like.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking more to what you want instead of what you don't want, because like they say, like, the universe can't tell the difference. You just speaking this with conviction.
And it responds to you. Everything is, and it's always happening. Luckily, you probably saw this in The Secret as well. It says that negative vibrations aren't as high as like the good things, the positive. So when you're speaking negative, if you can catch yourself and stop and start speaking into that abundance, like, that has more power than all of the negativity that you've spoken.
That's so true.
So it's just a habit that you have to start picking up. And like I said, when I do it, I catch myself mentally and I try to flip the switch.
Just right then and there.
Right then.
I went through that same thing too, because people think I'm like super positive, whatever, which I am, like, but I don't always think positive. I didn't realize how many negative thoughts I had until I had to start kicking them out my head. So I had to picture a big ass foot kicking the thought out. I swear.
I love that.
This worked
I
for
do
me.
the same thing. I have a whole nother visualization, but you have to see it. I imagine myself that I'm on a treetop and like I'm sweeping off all of the things that I don't want to think about. Like I'm
they gotta go.
Sweeping them out the tree.
Yes, that's so nice. That's such a nice way to think of it. You just sweep it. I got a big ass foot. I don't know whose foot this is, but it got a good kick on it, and it kicks out that negative thought. And then the next thing is to instantly replace it with something that you actually want, right?
Yes.
So instead of like, I don't want to go to work because these people going da-da-da-da-da. I go to work like I'm expecting something life-changing. I'm literally expecting something life-changing, like, but I be for real.
That's beautiful.
But then sometimes something really life-changing does happen.
Yeah, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like to think that, so a way that I've practiced is sometimes when I have a negative thought, I just acknowledge it and I just let it go. And then I try to shift it to something that feels good. Whatever that is. Like, sometimes it's the tree in front of me or just looking at the sky.
Yeah.
I really love nature. It'll just be as simple as grounding myself in the moment. And I also learned a recent tip that you can't feel something and think. I don't know, like, okay, so like if you are like touching some velvet and your mind is like super running like with all these crazy thoughts, if you just start rubbing it, like your mind will not think that crazy thought anymore.
Because now you're like rubbing the velvet.
Yeah, so like when I'm just like having like an anxious moment or my mind is just running, like I'll find something and I'll just like start to touch it and like really just let my mind like get away from that.
Sort of like breathing and noticing your breath in yoga. Because meditation, noticing my breath is what slowed down my mind. Because I can have anxious thoughts. And you know, to be transparent, I feel like a lot of us deal with anxious thoughts, racing thoughts that you feel like are uncontrollable. Sometimes they're negative, sometimes they're random, sometimes they're mixed up and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. But noticing my breath is what allowed me to slow that down. And it was a trickle. It wasn't like a quick stop.
It's a practice.
Yeah.
You have to keep returning to it. It doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't. That's so true.
The breath is so important because it connects like, it just eases the body, like your nervous system, your mind. Like once you tune into that breath, it really can calm your whole body. Because like I was saying, people forget to breathe. People forget to breathe. Like you can really be doing so much. I mean, yeah, you're breathing, but you're not.
A lot of times you're holding your breath. You're like literally like, and I don't notice like, especially when I'm working out now that I'm like working out more, like literally my trainer will just yell out, breathe. And I'm like, oh, I wasn't breathing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like straining, trying to do whatever he told me. And then I breathe and I'm able to use my breath.
And it happens in yoga too. That's why through the class, I'm just reminding people to breathe in and breathe out, like especially during like specific movements, because it really correlates with how your body follows through with that movement, and you can get deeper into a position once you breathe. It's a whole thing.
And I think that's metaphorical because like you can really breathe your way through any pain. Think about it. When women are in labor, that's supposed to be like the most painful thing there is. I can't talk to it because I ain't did it yet, but they say, right? And what do they tell you? They give you breathing techniques. They give you ways to breathe that will alleviate pain. And so I wonder if that's a correlation even with life. Can you breathe through the pain? Like, is there, you know?
I agree. I definitely think, you know, because if you are experiencing something that's really negative or like super, let's say you're facing a conflict and your mind is just racing, if you can take a second to breathe, I bet you that your reactions will be something that's way less cringy later. Because if you don't take a second, you just keep going, later you're going to look back and be like, wait, I probably shouldn't have done all that.
Sitting in jail. Now I'm in jail thinking about maybe if I had just took that one second.
It's Aries, you need to breathe.
You know we need to breathe. I saw this thing that was like basically every time I get upset, I blink and I'm in jail. Because you blink and you didn't breathe.
No facts. Like it's just all the way. And that'd be me. And it'll be like 30 minutes later and I'd be like, Asha, did you really need to go from 0 to 100?
If you would have breathed, you only might have went to 30.
Right.
But giving yourself that space, because you know we are very reactive, especially today. We're very reactive, you know, everything's a reaction.
Everything is so quick.
Everything's so fast. But taking that moment to notice yourself, notice, because sometimes you're offended and it really is not even what you think it is.
It's really not even, it's really your personal feelings being reflected onto the situation.
Come on now.
That's what comes back to me every time something happens in my life. Like that's where I feel like the yoga and all of the things have affected me on a day-to-day, because like I said, when things happen, I'm not perfect, but I usually look back and be like, Asha, this happened because you haven't healed from this.
Yes.
Or you're still struggling
from this. Now, and you're triggered by this.
I try to work through it because that's the only way you can not react later. You know, yeah, girl.
That's some self-awareness to say that, hey, I'm talking about actions of another person, but the reason I took it this way is because this is a reflection of something that I'm dealing with.
Because you can't control anyone else's actions but your own.
Yeah.
You cannot. So if you are letting someone else's actions affect you to the point where you are reacting a way that doesn't feel right with your body, it's because of you.
It's you.
It's you. Like no matter what they did.
Yeah.
It's because you are not healed.
Yeah, it's something, and I feel like that happens often. That's why I thought it was funny when you said there's like 50 layers to healing, because I believe that to be true as well. Because as much as we think we've healed, there's something happens and you're triggered by something. I'm like, wait a minute. For me, I'm like, wait a minute, what was that?
Yeah.
Because why did what they did trigger me in this way? You know, and it's sometimes me. A lot of times it's me.
And I feel like the relationships show you that. Friendships, romantic, when you get close to someone and they, like, inevitably things are gonna come up. But when they start to come up, it's usually, even if it's that person's reflection on the situation or your, you know, reflection of yourself on the situation, that's usually what it is. Because at the end of the day, it should be friendships or romantic. Whenever something comes up, it should be you against the problem.
Yes.
The both of you against the problem. But when it's you against you and there's supposed to be love here, that's because there's something unhealed inside.
Yeah, there's something underlying going on, and one of us or both of us.
Yeah, one of us or both of us.
That we can't even see that it's us in this conflict. You know what I mean? We can separate, when you are able to have enough awareness to separate yourself from a problem, even if it makes you feel deeply.
Even if you're wrong.
Even if you're wrong, even if you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but still be able to separate yourself from conflict. It does take a level of self-awareness to be like, you know, because you want to blame. That's the first thing we want to do is shift blame. You said, you did, and I feel. Like, you know, and you wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's usually never that black and white.
yeah.
Because people always have their experiences that they're bringing to the table, and you never know what that is. And you can't read other people's minds. And that's why one of my big lessons in life right now that I'm learning is you can't control anyone else's actions. You can only control yours. So what are you going to do about how you're feeling? Like, that's all you, like, if the other person is pissing you off, you got to walk away and you got to get back to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
To that, what is something that the universe keeps telling you over and over?
Do the work.
Do the work?
Do the work.
Oh.
Yeah, that's been my real lesson. Like,
yeah.
because I mean, things, you can attract any situation, but if you want to succeed at it, you have to have the foundation.
Yeah.
And so even so professionally right now, I have a lot of things going on, a lot of things that are popping into my head, like, oh, I want to do this, or, you know, but to do it, I have to do the work. Like, nothing is like, skills don't come overnight.
No.
So
Neither does an empire, right?
nothing comes overnight. Like, even with my yoga and everything, like, I'm so proud of myself for showing up to all these yoga classes.
I know, right? Like,
Because I be ready to be home, y'all.
but I know I got y'all coming, so I come and meet y'all.
I'll be there. And I'm great. I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah.
And just showing up for my business is really not natural to me. And so the fact that I continue to do it, I'm super proud of me. But there's also, like I said, professional stuff. Like, when I was a little girl into this day, I never saw myself doing one thing forever. Like, I have so many other things that I feel like I'm capable of and I want to experience. But to do those things at the level that I want to do them takes work.
Yeah. And being consistent here.
And even spiritually. And I feel like it comes up, like, so I feel like during the winter, I really stepped back from a lot of my self-care, my spiritual practices. I don't know, I was just sleeping more.
Yeah, I mean, rest is self-care. Please
like
believe
the
me.
winter time, yeah, I was chilling.
So you hibernate.
Yeah, I'm really on the seasons. But now that spring is coming back and I'm looking back and I'm like, Asha, if you would have meditated every morning, you wouldn't have probably made some of the decisions you made 3 months ago. And, you know, that's just, again, another lesson from the universe that the work never stops. Like, I can't take a break from showing up for myself, even if I'm tired.
You dropping bars. I can't take a break from showing up for myself. Come on.
Yeah,
Seriously.
and I feel like that's what I did during the winter. So now and I always have felt like I come alive during the spring. Like, that's when my birthday hits. That's when my favorite weather and all the things. So now I'm taking some real, like, accountability for what happened in the winter.
Yeah, and just showing up for yourself.
And showing back up and showing up for myself 100% too. Really not half-assing me. Because if
Come
I'm
on
gonna
now.
half-ass me, then I'm definitely gonna half-ass this job that I don't care about.
Right, or anything else attached to me, because
you're gonna half-ass your relationships, you're gonna half-ass your, like, everything. So
Yep.
it's really just, but right now I'm returning back to me. I feel like making sure that the things that I know I need for me get done, and so that
taken
I
care
can
of.
show
Come
up
on.
for everything else that I want to do.
I am so here for that. I was just saying, my mantra all week, girl, has been, I don't have to be extreme, I just have to be consistent. Because I have so many things too. I think of a new business almost every goddamn day. Like, I fall into business opportunities sometimes. So I really have to like remind myself, like, it's not about being grand. It's just about being consistent and continuing to show up.
Yeah.
And keeping your commitments. And that's the building blocks to everything that you want.
And one of my mantras that I love to say is you don't have to work hard, you just have to be present. Because your presence and just showing up is really half the battle. And that's sometimes also the hardest part. Like, nobody is perfect. Nobody is doing it at 100% all the time. But the people who consistently show up and just let their presence be felt are usually the ones who succeed in my eyes.
Yeah, and I'm good at that in every realm but the gym. I don't like being present up there, but I go. I know it's gonna require me to be up there.
You gotta figure out, you have to find a way to make things enjoyable for you.
Yes, like I work out with my friend and we can like talk crap, and that makes it better. We can kiki. Because the day she not there, I'm like, this is not fun. I don't want to come up here. And I find myself finding excuses not to go up there.
No, that's a fact. For me, it's buying myself workout clothes and workout shoes that I want to wear.
Oh,
that'll get me in the gym.
Oh, let me borrow that. Let me borrow that. Give me a reason to shop, girl.
Yes, and then also, depending how your day is, wear your workout clothes the whole day so you don't have a reason to not show up to to working out.
Because I already got them on. I can't say I gotta go home and change.
Nah, you wearing it.
I look sporty anyway.
Yes.
I like that. I'm borrowing that.
Yes.
Because I already said, typically like I do like, this is so personal, it don't even make sense. It doesn't really matter, but I do like, I shop for myself by season. So like every season, I do like a big order of clothes or whatever. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, you can get some workout clothes. That's what I said to myself. I'm like, I'm not buying any more clothes for this size I am now. I'm like, she has enough, and she does. But I said she could have workout clothes, so now I'm incorporating that. I'm gonna go get her some workout clothes.
Real cute workout clothes that you want to wear all day. So that when it's time to go to the gym, you don't got no reason to not go.
Yes, it's sporty Meech for me. Okay, I can really get with that.
Yes.
So I want to talk more about your manifestation coaching. What is that? What's manifestation coaching?
So it's, I had to Google it and make sure it was a thing before I started doing it.
And it would have been still, but.
But yeah, I mean, it's really life coaching when people have, I'm a big advocate for therapy. Like, I think that everyone, if you're healing from something, go to therapy.
Which we probably all are, yeah.
Yeah, everyone has something, so go to therapy. And then after therapy, there's life coaching, which kind of helps you set the steps for where you want to go next. Like, really an accountability partner, someone who gives you tools that you continue to use on your daily life so that you can reach the goals or reach the lifestyle that you want to have. So manifestation coaching is basically that, but manifestation.
Right.
And so I just help you give you the tools to mentally create the life that you want. It's really all a spiritual and mental habit, and I think manifestation coaching and like mental strategists are both really good ways to word what I do, because it's getting into the daily thoughts, the daily habits that you have that are creating the life that you're living, and setting goals for the life that you want to live. And let's figure out the mental habits, the mental practices that you need to reach that, and how can you incorporate it in your daily life. Okay, now you know what you need to do. What is stopping you? What are the blocks? Like, let's get into that. Why aren't you doing the things that you want to do?
Yeah.
So that we can continue. Like, so that's what the whole, like, all our sessions are going to look like. It's first you're deciding what it is that you want to do. Okay, now how can you do it every day? Okay, now why are you not doing it when you come back? I mean, because it takes time. You probably have to break down some things that you have to break down some things that you have believed your whole life.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of limiting beliefs and a lot of things that were input in us through society forever. You know, it was input into your parents, it was input into your grandparents. And so unless
And it's passed down.
It's passed down.
Who you can be.
Generational trauma, all of it is real. So until you address those things, and that's why I say therapy is important, because therapy is going to get you through some real deep things. And then once you've kind of healed, there's still some more understanding that needs to be done to incorporate it into your daily life.
Yeah.
And that's what I help do.
So what do you find are common roadblocks for people? What's keeping them from doing the thing? Because this seems like post-healing, right?
Yeah, so I would say that the two biggest things are a sense of lack.
Okay.
Like that there's just always less than.
Yeah.
And then a sense of self-worth, like not believing that you're worthy. And they're kind of going hand in hand, but they are different. And because lack, you can believe that you're worthy of all these things, but then you can just have like a sense of, oh, I have to penny pinch.
Yeah, or it's running out,
budget,
or there's not enough.
There's not enough for everyone.
Yeah.
You know? So it's really just figuring out what is stopping you and working through it, doing the actual mental work to get through it.
These are good, girl. These are really good. Because this seems like post-healing healing, because, you know, we do reach a plateau in therapy where it's like, you know, we've identified the traumas and what is causing this, and we've pulled out all this, and then the now what. So this is like, now what? Now that, how do we move forward and move?
How do we get to where you want to be?
Yeah, and move past the things
Heal.
Keep healing.
Yes, healaholic.
Come on now, healaholic. You know,
Yes.
I love that. Well, you've answered every question I had. Okay, this is my last question.
Yes.
What's the biggest vision you hold for yourself?
I'm trying to own a skyscraper.
Come on, dear.
I mean, I want it all at the end of the day, but that's just because I believe I'm worthy of it all.
Yeah. What is it all for you? Like relationships, family, business? What is that? What does it look like?
I mean, I want multiple houses. I want a house on the beach. I want a house in the city. I want a house in Africa.
Yeah.
I want dream closets. I want all the shoes. I want all the bags. I want all the cars. I want a pool. I want a garden. I also want a healing center. Like I want a place where people can come and do the work, yoga, meditate. I want a library. I love books. I also love clothes. I'm
coming over your house. I like it over here.
Yes, my closet about to be 3 levels. Okay. I need a shoe floor, a purse floor, a clothing floor.
Yes.
I want it all. Like
I can see that so vividly.
Girl, so do I. It's coming. It's here. It's already here. I'm manifesting it right now. Watch. Give me
and you see it here first.
It's here. It's already here.
I love that.
And the way I see it coming is really the universe aligning all of my desires so that I can just give to the world what is already in me and get paid what I deserve to get paid for it. Yeah. And be smart. And then, of course, I want to be married. I want kids. I want my family to have family reunions at my house.
Yes.
I want to travel. Like I said, like traveling is in my blood. Like I want to visit all 7 wonders of the world.
Yes.
Hell, I want to go to space. I don't know.
Like, when I say it's invigorating to hear you speak this big, because I speak this big about my own life, and I literally believe that it's possible.
Oh yeah, it's happening, and that's why I said
it's happening. Come on now, not just it's possible, it's happening.
I can't have it all today because I'm gonna collapse under all of it. Like I'm not ready to handle an empire, but I'm becoming the person who can handle an empire. Yes. And so it's coming. I believe that the universe is aligning, like just this right here. Yes. It's putting all of the experiences, all of the connections in my path. I just have to keep my vibration high. I just have to do the work. I have to keep setting the goals and seeing it and believing it, and it's all going to be mine. Yeah, and it's all woven together. That is absolutely beautiful. I believe it as well, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I believe it. Together. We literally are, because I want all the things. So people ask me what I want.
I'm like, I want everything. Like, it all.
Why would you limit yourself? Like, there's so much money out here. Like,
there's so much money, there's so much happiness, there's so much joy, there's so much peace. I think all the time, like, I couldn't imagine hardening my heart because of things I've dealt with, because I haven't even met the people who are gonna love me so much yet.
Yeah.
I don't even know them yet.
Yeah.
And so, like, how could I, it's like blocking myself off to that.
You can't do that.
Why would I?
People do it because that is what they see.
And maybe the lack. They think it's no more.
They definitely. And it's like, you saw struggle all your life. You just knew that you was going to struggle too. And you never tried to break that barrier and believe that you're worthy of more. And once you believe that, once you see it, it is also about seeing it in other people. You have to surround yourself with people.
Come on.
You have to.
You spit right now.
You know how many cars I done drove that's not mine, that's worth way more than I,
But
you just have to experience it and surround yourself and believe that you're worthy of it. Put yourself in those spaces and then envision it. Like, that's what manifestation is. Like, I say that in class all the time. Like, close your eyes and see yourself experiencing the dream. What does it feel like? What is it gonna look like? What is your energy gonna be like in that moment when I get the keys to my skyscraper? Like, how
will
am I
it
gonna
feel? Feel it now.
What am I wearing? How is my hair? What did I drive there? Like, you gotta get there. You have to get to, because the universe responds to detail.
And vibration.
And vibration. So if you got the detail and you got the energy to match it, it's coming. It's yours. It's already done.
Your mind don't even know if it's, like, they don't know if it's real or not. You ever had a dream?
We can get into the quantum physics
of it all. That you really can't tell whether it's real or not.
Yeah, the body doesn't know. Like, the mind doesn't know. You really, if it happened in your mind, you're just waiting for the reality to catch up.
Yeah.
It's because it's already a thing.
Yeah, because if the vibration is high enough, it's like, was that a thought? Or they don't know if it's a thought or a memory, basically.
Because if you sit down and you meditate right now and you imagine yourself driving that BMW 450, whatever.
Whichever way.
You like really feel like the wind blowing and you feel the sun and you hear the accelerator and you imagine your foot pressing on that pedal. I bet you, like, the science, when they put the stuff on you, like, and they look at the computers, it's gonna look like you're driving that car for real.
It'll
like
be
your
the
body
same
is responding
thing,
to it.
literally.
So it is really all just like, all of this is fake.
Yeah.
Everything is fake.
It is.
You just have to believe it.
It's just a matter of, or it's real. It's whatever you believe. The synchronicity of this conversation, I can't even begin to explain to you. You'll just have to see it. I can't even begin to say. But yes, that's all I can say is yes. This is so true. I always say, I'm the queen of manifestation now. Yeah. And if you know me long enough, you're gonna watch some shit appear.
You're gonna see it.
You're gonna see some things appear.
And like, my friends, when they saw me in Thailand, they knew.
They were like, oh, she wasn't playing. She was not playing.
Like, even my family, like I said it for 4 years that I was gonna do it, and then I did it. And I don't think, I mean, I'm not gonna say people didn't think I was gonna do it, but I probably didn't think I was gonna do it. I was saying it, but there was a little piece in my head.
You might want a little piece of doubt, like, will it happen?
Yeah, it's there, but I just kept moving in
You
faith.
believed it more than you didn't believe it because it happened, and you kept moving towards it. This is such an amazing conversation. I wish I could think of a better word than yes, but I agree so much. Like, this is literally, like, word for word a lot of the things I say a lot of times. Like, and so, like, this is divine. I'm so glad we got to have this conversation. And where can we find you for coaching, for all things yoga? Where can we find you?
So you can find me on my website. It is simply Natural Gems, GEMS. On Instagram, I am Natural Gems, GEMZ. And yeah, I'm very easy to find, those two ways.
I'm gonna put that down in the description box below. Your Instagram, your site. You guys, come find her because I am so blessed that I have.
Yeah, and if you're in Atlanta and you want to come to a yoga classes, we have yoga classes every new moon, every full moon, and they are in the at the Pink Zebra in Little 5 Points, and it's a really dope time.
Yes, and I will probably be there as well.
My regulars.
Getting my yoga. I'm trying to be a regular. Getting my yoga on and things, child. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your input, your wisdom. It's greatly appreciated, and I'm just so glad that we got to.
This was so much fun.
This was fun, right? I know, like, when you first come in, like, when I put mics and stuff on you, it might be a little bit intimidating.
Girl, no, I'm a celebrity in my head. So
period. You like, thank you.
This was right up my alley.
And the champagne and everything. You like, it's exactly what I was expecting. expecting.
Yes.
Me too, right?
Divine. Perfect. I love it.
Thank you so much, Asha. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching. We're here each and every Monday, dropping jewels as always. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.